If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. Yes, it's that time again. It's a comments video. Whatever the title of this video is, I have a timestamp to that in the pinned comment down below if you want to go watch where we talk about that topic. But if you don't know what we do here on one of my daily videos, I basically say, hey, leave a comment. I'm going to read it on this channel, and we just talk for a long time, however long it might be. But obviously, if you're on this channel, then thank you so much for being here because you're a true fan, and I greatly appreciate you. And let's just start off here with JFC, who says, the basketball gods do not exist. If anyone's a Pacers fan watching this, all I can say is I am so sorry. And that was, I think, the day after the Game 7 finals where Halliburton tore his Achilles. And if you're familiar with what happened there, yeah, that was such a blue balls moment. Like, I was so upset seeing that, just for our pure entertainment aspect, let alone, obviously, you feel terrible for Tyrese himself, who, I mean, the biggest moment of his life, basically, gets catastrophically injured. So that's unfortunate, to put it mildly. But yeah, anyway, on to, I'm sure, plenty of FIFA complaints, because I'll be right there with you. We've got Default Rider, hot take. EA should just focus on making the game less delayed and more playable instead of adding so many useless animations into the game and trying to make it realistic, which makes the game so much more slower. Yeah, that's not a hot take. Definitely not a hot take there. I think it's just a normal take. I mean, you're right. I definitely think you're right about that. But the hot take-ness, I would not consider that one a hot take, I gotta say. Domino Glass, I packed Croy, first and only good pull of the year. So happy I'm thinking about doing a giveaway on my channel. Well, I don't know if you did, but yeah. W self-promotion out of you, and congratulations on your Cruyff. Honestly, congrats. I really want to try that Cruyff card. We've got Snap Back to Reality. Shapeshifters or EA have been really generous to me. Basically saying here, you've gotten a ton of pack pulls. Yeah, you've gotten a lot of pack pulls here. 10+ million coins in untradeable players. And you said your best champs record is like 7 and 8. Worst, I think, was 5 and 10, where I got Yamal and McTominay. Yeah, I don't know what this luck is. You know, we can kind of transition this into like some accounts having better pack luck than others, right? It's one of those things, once again, where it's like, when you think about just the law of averages, some accounts are going to end up with crazy luck just because the probabilities dictate that's going to happen to certain accounts. But obviously, is there some more underlying stuff to that with EA basically purposely selecting accounts for certain reasons? I mean, we'll never know that really, because you can't prove that. But you know, what do you guys think? And then another one too, you have a ton of thumbs up on your comments here. And then I saw somebody make a Wings of Age of Consent with the accusation here. Why are you like botting your comment, dude? Is that true, or are we getting like botted comments? Are the accusations true here? Because 22 thumbs up on this one as well. Maybe you're just spitting facts, or you're like botting your comments. I'm not sure. Also, don't get any hype for Shapeshifters team 2 and 3 and stuff. Rewards will be garbage. Apparently not your rewards though. Your rewards have been insane recently, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I think you're probably right. The rewards will not end up being so great. But okay, WXTR, as a more casual player, where the hell can I get 1.7 million coins for all these Evos? I can barely get 100k. This is the thing that I saw. I think the Penthes was like dying on the hill of like, they're not actually that crazy. You can make a ton of coins in this game. And listen, I think you can also, like, two things can be true at once here. Once again, drink every time I say that, but I think that you can make a lot of coins quickly in this game, and more quickly than previous years. But also, a casual player, 1.5 million coins of Evos. Like, are we being obtuse for no reason here? That's obviously absurd, right? And of course, you don't have to do every evolution, right? But a lot of the casual players clearly love the evolutions, and that's one of the reasons they stay on the game. Once they can't afford a lot of them, then they're more likely to go away. So you kind of need to have that balance of paid Evos, or maybe just like the 50k Evos if you want to do those. Even though obviously it'd be better if they were just free as is, but have a nice balance between the two, because then, you know, you satisfy the people that you should satisfy, aka the casuals who like the evolutions. And I guess EA just need that extra money, I suppose. And then you say, keep up the vids. I listen to them while I'm driving. I really appreciate you. We've got Steven, I think, or Stefan or Steven. Don't let these bonuses fool you. I bought the standard edition last year, subscribed to EA Play 1 month for $65 total, so I could play early 20 hours, 10 on PS4, 10 on PS5. If you want to buy the game, do it basic. The bonuses will grant you 0 advantage 1 month into the game. And I think usually you're exactly right here. I will say the premium season pass might actually make this so that you might get an advantage this year, which honestly is debatably, this is the problem with these extra editions of the game, right? Because if you want to make it worth it for their money, you do kind of want to give them something that is probably worth their money. Then at the same time, is it too good? Like, do you make it too much of an advantage, like too pay to win, right? Because the paid season pass, getting that for free, you know, it's probably what, 30 more bucks for the other edition. You get early plus the paid season pass plus the icon. Now when you think about it that way, you know, it's hard to balance that, thinking of like how much better do you want to make these other editions. I mean, one easy way to do it is just have one edition come out and that's what the game is, which throw back to those 10 years ago when you just got the game and that the game was the game. But yes, I always say a couple things. If you know you're going to get next year's game, don't pre-order it. I'm a big proponent of not pre-ordering it, because EA then, like, they're looking at their pre-order sales right now to determine how much more they should do, right? So if they are seeing that the pre-order numbers are lower, even if you know you'll buy the game eventually, that's going to help out that you have not pre-ordered the game when they're looking at all this stuff prior. So I'm always a big proponent of that. And yeah, this year's a little bit different when it comes to the advantages they might grant you. Would you rather have there be advantages because it's worth the money then, or would you rather have there be no advantages at all and just have the regular edition exist as is? You guys know what I would pick. But from EA's point of view, you know, we're just past this point now with all games that there's going to be 3 editions of every fucking game that comes out. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm never going to be a proponent of pre-ordering the game, even if you know you're going to buy it, right? I don't think that goes with any game, like literally any game at all, unless you want to support, like, the only game I'd say the exception to that maybe is GTA 6, because you're supporting like the 13 years of work that went into it. But other than that, I still am not a proponent of pre-ordering almost anything. But we got nickname. Not a big fan of the menu grind changes. I'm not a big Evo person. I'm sure there are many others who have the same opinion. And the fact that we have to go through shit gameplay over and over to upgrade my team while not spending money is pretty garbage. So what you're trying to say here, I guess, is like, if the gameplay sucks, the menu grind sucks, then, well, obviously everything sucks, and you're right about that. That's why, to me, the menu stuff this year's been almost, I don't want to say overblown, because that's not the case to me. It hasn't been overblown, but more exemplified, because the gameplay's not been fun for many people. So when there's also not a menu grind, it seems even worse. Because last year we had the exchanges too, and now we have the exchanges, and it is good still. I think the exchanges are good right now, but you know, we got them way later into the year, right? We got them in June, when the exchanges last year were like team of the year time. So it's just been a lot worse this year, and then you worry about the future. Is it just going to get worse? And do you have faith in EA making good gameplay? I can't say I do. So then you think about the future and you're like, damn, is it really this bleak, or am I just a pessimist? Wings of Age of Consent is back. New sleep video coming up soon. That's what's up. Hey, if you can fall asleep to my voice and talking this fast, you can fall asleep to anything. Listen to yeah, fall asleep to 5-finger death punch while you're at it. And then Dez here, I like this point from Dez. So he says, I'm all for more Evos, paid or free, because you know exactly what you're getting from it. I agree with that. I think it has been single-handedly the bit of saving grace of this game for me, but the cost of some of them is a bit much, and that exactly is basically what I agree with here. I think the evolutions are, for sure, just simply put, better than gambling, right? Because you know what you're getting. So you can decide for yourself if you think it's worth the money. Now, unfortunately, the truth is behind this one thing too, is that we used to get these for free. A lot of these ones would have been free or less expensive. Now they're more expensive, or just pretty much all of them are paid to a certain extent now. That training camp one, I talked about this, I think in maybe yesterday's video or sometime. The training camp one is ridiculous. 500K for a 3-week wait is fucking crazy. Like, that's nonsense. That's when it becomes like too much / too expensive to me. That's crazy. And talking about how they'll integrate it more in next year's version, yeah, they're gonna do that. This is all a test run for next year to me. But that's the thing, is that if it's a slippery slope, because if we let them, you know, give us these paid Evos because we say, hey, you know what you're buying now, way better, and it's like, okay, well, you know, they're gonna just take that and run with it. It's gonna get worse, and then it's gonna get to a point where we're all like, hey, how'd the Evos get this bad? Well, we kind of let it get this bad because we were okay with it. So same thing with like the menu grind stuff. And you know, this is what I talked about League SBCs, where people FIFA 20 were like, hey, it's pretty good, like, stop complaining, you fucking loser. It's like, okay, well, we know where this is going. In 5 years, oops, the menu grind doesn't exist anymore, sorry guys. And everyone looks around and goes, man, what happened here? Yeah, I have an idea of what happened. We got Anubis next. To be honest, I think what EA is doing with Evos is to counter how many coins so many people have. So many people have have 10 mil plus and are buying coins from coin sites, EA figures, fuck it, they got the coin, more paid evos and everything. Same can be said for the market too right now. I think there's a chance that's the case. I think what's more likely is that EA likes the idea, just simply put, of putting an FC point number behind every evo, whether it's $2 or $20, right? I think that's what they like the most, because people are going to sit there and go, hey, I don't want to waste 50k. I'll spend $3 on this evolution, and then all that stuff adds up, right? I think that's what they like more, because I think even when next year the evos start coming out, I think they'll be the same level of paid, even when the coins aren't to the same extent. At least that's what I think, because they're just putting an FC point value behind every evo, to me, is exactly what they want to do, and that's just going to add up over the course of the entire year, and they'll make a lot of money off of that. So I think that's kind of what the plan is my guess. We got Sid Hearth, I apologize, I probably say your name wrong every single time. Please don't let EA lull you into pre-ordering the next game by dangling some candy in front of you. And yeah, the only candy they could dangle in front of me is like massive gameplay improvements. How would we know? Like, how would we know until we get the game actually if the gameplay is actually improved? We're just not going to. So yeah, we talked about pre-ordering already. You guys know how I feel about that. Next up, Gamer Skull. Can't remember any FIFA from any year where you opened an 8410 to only get one walkout 88 rated. It's truly atrocious. And you're right. This, you know, we're going down the path now. I've talked about this before, where it's more packs, but worse pack weight, right? Just sheer volume of packs and stuff like that. This probably is the worst pack weight year we've ever had, honestly. Abacus Frost, Kyle Rittenhouse haircut. Okay. when I saw that, I was like, that's insane. Devin Pack, I do not fully agree on the SPC/Evo split EA is doing. Mostly because Czech, Yash, and Butra, no Evo, are 94, so EA left them at a lower rating for the next Evo batch upgrade. Also, they play fairly well with just their 2 playstyle pluses. Czech is a monster, PTSD is kicking in. So I guess you're saying that you don't actually mind the like half SPC, half Evo split. So I guess I think you're right that it could be okay if the Czech, Yash, and Butra was good enough, and if it was 93 rated, I think I would agree with you. But the 94s and stuff, you know, when will we see those evos? We got one 94 rated evo, but no word yet on other ones, so it might take 3 weeks to see like an evo like that. Plus the price point for me is where my problem comes in. Like 400k in this market is like 800k in previous markets, so that's where it's like you want to check your Yash and your Butra. And also, they don't have first touch play style. There's like certain play styles they just can't have. That to me are borderline crutch, and it's like, okay, 400k for a card that I don't like playstyles for. So that's, I know, just my opinion personally. I think Butra does have the first touch playstyle. Like the Berbatov that came out is 200 or 250k or whatever the hell it is. Like, is that card worth 200k plus some fodder as well? That's where it's like, okay, the price point's kind of insane. Maybe the idea of it isn't that bad, but the price point is definitely, to me, you know, a little too overpriced there. Then Creed here, just like before we even get into the video, what are these training camp evos? I can't use bail for 3 weeks. Yeah, that's, if I'd have known that, I would never have done it. Yeah, I almost put my R9 into that, and then I looked at how long it actually was, and I'm like, holy shit, 3 weeks? Yeah, 3 weeks from now, I mean, I might be dead. Who knows? In 3 weeks from now, I might be playing with 4 other cards in my team that compare to that card. I mean, I have no idea what it looks like in 3 weeks. Cyber Racer, what does additional Evo slot mean? 2 active Evos at a time. If I had to guess, now that we have 2 active Evos, and they added that in, I want to say in the winter time at some point, my guess is the pre-order bonus is going to be, you start the year with 2 active Evos, and then the free edition will get it in like the winter time, again, would be my guess. Now, it could mean like you get 2 from the start, and then the third one is the pre-order bonus next year, where you have 3 of them now you can have active at a time, but I'm not exactly sure what that's going to look like, honestly. We got Fast Eddie. I'm at 983 plus player picks, and no decent pull yet. Over 30, 89 exchanges, nothing either. Grind is dumb because there's no big SPC to grind for. And that's the biggest thing right now is, yeah, this is kind of the future of the pack grind. It's going to be a shit ton of packs constantly with bad pack weight. So would you rather have that, or would you rather have a less amount of packs for a better pack weight? It's kind of up for you to decide. I think most of us would agree that somewhere in the middle would be better, where if you get an 8410, it kind of means something, whereas instead of getting 5 8410s a day and they're all dog shit, it's like, Okay, you might get an 89 and 5 8410s, which is insane to say, but that's like what the menu grind is nowadays, right? And then Creed once again here on the subject of Evos, they're cooked. I'm done with them, he says. There are no good free Evos anymore. If you want a good one, you better spend 2, 3, 500K. They make mega bank already through game sales, store packs, season pass. Now they're doing it with Evos. I'd personally like to meet the CEO so I can slap the taste out of his mouth. Listen, I don't condone violence, but EA might be pushing people to their breaking point here. And another Creed comment. He's been waiting for a JFC upload to rant for a few days. 8410s, 87 plus picks, both extremely manipulated and a con. Yeah, and that's the thing with this pack weight stuff is it's going to be impossible to know if any of this stuff is manipulated because you can just say confirmation bias this and selection bias that or whatever you want to say. But that's the thing is that's a perfect shield if it were to exist, right? I mean, you just wouldn't know. AFZ, enjoy your content. It's non-biased and real, unlike some other YouTubers. I'm a casual player. My first year playing FC 25. Recently, I commented on one of Nep's videos and said EA is pushing us casual players away with these Evos being so expensive. Got lots of hate on the comment. According to Nep, making 500K is very easy and simple, and casual players should not complain. Would love your input on this. Thanks in advance. From New Zealand. And I got actually a lot of comments like on the video that day talking about this Nepenthes thing with the 500K. He's saying like it's actually not that bad. And I discussed this earlier. I think in a couple videos ago, I was saying like the slippery slope of, first of all, I don't think 500K is easy to get. I think that's kind of oversimplifying things for the sake of it. I do agree that coins this year are easier to get. Like that is partly true, I think. I think coins this year are easier to get than in some years, but a 500K Evo, I don't think there's any way you can put it that's like easy and simple. I don't know if that's his exact quote because I didn't watch the video, but if a 500K Evo is apparently easy and simple, like relatively easy and simple, I just think that's a fundamental disagreement. I don't know if he's talking about the casual players in terms of the guys who play like on the weekends, you know, and compared to like the casual hardcore player. Does that make sense? Like the hardcore player who plays a lot but more casually than like the hardest of hardcore players. I don't know how to like categorize these things, but yeah, I don't know. It sounds out of touch from people's comments that I'm seeing. This is the thing too, is that even if you didn't think it's out of touch and you actually agree with this point, we're once again doing the exact same thing we did for League SBCs where, hey, it's not that bad, guys. You're doing too much. Okay, when there are a million coins, you can say the same thing because that's going to happen next. How expensive are these going to get? I don't know. We'll find out. But you're kind of just allowing it to happen, right? You're allowing the first step, then they'll take the next 4 steps. On Icarus here, I think I read this comment on our daily video that day. So if you want to go watch that, you guys can. Campo, I'm kind of scared the Evo path they're going down. And I won't read the whole thing here, but he's saying, like, killing a menu grind will lessen the amount of menu grinders who play the game, i.e. an audience EA should not want to get rid of. If you guys want to read through the whole comment, you can, because it is, you know, it's a very well-written comment. And speaking very broadly in terms of, like, audiences EA should not want to get rid of, I think every single piece of the community EA should not want to get rid of. The casuals, the hardcores, the menu grinders, the gameplay lovers, the store pack guys, obviously. Like every single piece of the ecosystem is important. And I think what EA have done recently is gone, we want the pure casuals and we want the pure hardcore players / whales. And I wouldn't even say the pure hardcore players. I would say the whales. It's the whales and the pure casuals that they're like super into. And that is, to me, an awful idea of how to keep your game alive. I think we know at this point they've already fucked this up. People claimed that, like, for a while, why should they care about anybody else? Who spends the money? It's the whales and the casuals. They spend the money, so they should care about them. You can't do it that way. You have to have a healthy balance of all of them, otherwise your game dies. And right now, guess what happens? The numbers are lower than they've ever been in terms of just like the people playing the game itself at this time of the year. It's not a sustainable way to keep your money up, right? It's not sustainable past a couple of years, and they're seeing this already. This began in FIFA 23, I want to say 22 or so. The first time they didn't meet revenue requirements was this last year, and I'm not the least bit surprised, and I'm sure you guys aren't either, because when you start to cater the game towards like a very specific group of people, you're killing it, right? You're absolutely going to kill your game. You have to be strategic about, okay, the hardcore players will like this, will make money off this, but it kind of, you know, there's parts of it that satisfy everybody, whereas they don't do that anymore. They I think they have the wrong idea of what they should target and focus. And I still remember people saying like, no, what they're doing is smart, guys. You do the same thing. No, I wouldn't. I would not be doing the same thing. And you can tell now it was a bad idea. You know, everyone who's been pessimistic for this long time has aged well, right? It's all aged pretty damn well. And I know it's easier to be pessimistic than optimistic, but still, it was pretty easy to see what was coming here. If you weren't sticking it up EA's behind, it was pretty easy to see. Der Kaiser says, saw bare positive comments on Twitter regarding the pre-order bonus, and fucking hell, a large part of this community is actually finished. Don't care if it's harsh to say this, but you have to be an absolute imbecile to see the gross incompetence put forth by EA this year and still deciding to buy into that pre-order bonus just because EA is dangling packs in front of your face. Have to start shaming this gambling addiction. And I mean, listen, I'm always here to shame the gambling addiction. I'm always here for that. But yeah, listen, I never want to tell people how to spend their money. I mean, like, I give suggestions as much as, I mean, that's probably bullshit. I do kind of say and shame people for doing certain things, but I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, the way you spend your money is fucking stupid, right? Because everyone sees the value in things differently. And if you have a shit ton of money and you think this is nothing to me, I'll just do it anyway, then like, who am I to tell you not to do that? But at the same time, yes, you need to be very conscious of what decisions you're making with your money, right? Gorilla Pods, that's the ugliest icon I've ever seen. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I'm not sure if it was the ugliest ever for me, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't anything mind-blowing, definitely. Chris BC, I'm German, and Bierhoff should not be an icon. He's a hero due to the golden goal and 96 euros, but he did not do enough in his club or national team to be considered an icon. And you were not the only one saying this. I think I saw like everybody, especially Germans. Germans were like, no, he's not an icon. So it's kind of funny that even the hosts or like the home nation players were sitting here being like, nah, Bierhoff's probably a hero. That's when you know he probably does not deserve to be an icon. Got Germs, I know you said don't look too long at the Dino card, but I just packed him an 87 plus player pick. Hey, congratulations, man. Everybody who's still here playing this game at this time of the year deserves a crazy pull like a Dino, right? A Dino or Croy for that new Eusebio coming out who looks ridiculous. You all deserve that. Kenix Gaming, this game feels like a test for EA to find out how to make more money in the next game. We talked about this already too, and I think that that's definitely the case, right? They test things out in the old game to see what they can do in the next one. Ash Wall, I actually corrected this mistake on the video that day, so just later in that video. Shaft to 2010, SBCs into Evos are definitely a test for next year. Premium Pass cannot be 500k on launch, so the pre-purchase bonus isn't as good as it looks. And it actually makes sense too that maybe if it's a 200k season pass, it's not as like interesting, or 1,000 FC point or something like that. Maybe it's actually not as good of a pre-order bonus. And boycott FC points. Don't pre-order. Champs is not open till week 2 anyways, and the game will improve. 100%. I agree with you. If you know you're going to buy next year's game anyway, right? You boycott FC points. You don't pre-order. You've already done your job, okay? They don't make the money back off this game, off game sales, guys. They don't. If you're not going to buy the game anyway, obviously, then ignore that. But if you know you're going to buy the game like I am, I know I'm buying the game. Don't pre-order it. No FC points, and you are guaranteed to be helping the cause. Because the unfortunate truth is this is a pretty much monopoly on football games. And if you know you're going to end up buying it, do those two things. You're helping out a ton. And Shafty, you also said here, Butra is really good and Czech is absolutely insane. Definitely worth it, apparently. Okay, yeah, if you guys have used Czech, then let me know if you guys also think he's been worth it. Arv Jasal, I apologize. True that you cannot make any coins since they fucked the market. Shit pack weight. People like me who do not spend won't get expensive cards. Then how the hell am I going to have coins? And I ain't spending any money in the game or even next. Okay, so you're trying to say here that like trading is harder, bad pack weight, and then also I'm not spending money, so how am I going to get coins? You can make some pretty good guaranteed coins by playing the game a lot. Like you can this year, and you can trade. It's more difficult. I don't even do it myself really anymore. I used to do it. Like when I started this channel, it was a lot of it being trading, and I don't really do that anymore. I only fodder trade, and that's kind of why I talk about it in my videos. But yeah, it is true that pack weight being worse for tradable stuff, getting coins from non-guaranteed stuff is harder, right? I think you get more coins from the guaranteed stuff, like for example, if the 3-player packs or the exact coin amounts they give you for certain champs rewards, right? Like 75k or 100k. But I can see what you mean by like the pack, getting coins from packs is harder than ever. I definitely can see what you mean by that. Graham Frost saying, where have you been? LOL. I was gone for 2 days. I was on a little mini vacay, attempting to live summer life as much as I can. Charles Jen, well, it seems I will have to retire from EA/FIFA earlier than I would have wanted to. This retirement is forced rather than being on my own terms. With those FC26 leaks and the direction of where things are going to monetize everything, the days of meaningful grind is over. RIP to RTGs. And Charles, I unfortunately have to agree with you. And this is the thing EA just, I think, take for granted. Like Charles are saying here, this retirement is forced rather than being on my own terms. I want to keep playing, but I'm not because there's no point. That's the thing that EA have made a mistake then there. Adam says, do we know if it's confirmed that FC26 will be cross-play between console and PC, or is it being restricted? I'm sure it's going to be cross-play. It's been cross-play for the last few years, right? Super Sub 1, this is not encouraging for me to get FC26. I feel like 26 will be the most pay-to-win football game in history. I will not be there. And it could be, right? There's no doubt about it that it definitely could be. I can't say for sure until we get our hands on it, but I think it's not a bad assumption to assume that. VV, EVOs have become another predatory way to shake players down for real money. The coin equivalent amounts are stupidly high in order to lull people to buy more FC points. And yes, you're right on that. Like the coin to FC point difference there is big, right? 500k or 500 FC points. And I think that's been like 1,000, but you see what I'm trying to say? 500k or like, well, $5. You know, which one would you rather do? I think that gap honestly will be even wider. I saw one that was like 200k and $5, right? So yeah, that gap is pretty big there. Eugene says, we'll treat EAFC like a movie release this time. If it gets a bad Rotten Tomatoes score, I am not buying. That's not a bad way to do it either. See if people are saying that the game is different, you know, the gameplay stuff being different. And if it's not, then just, you know what to do, right? You know what to do. Connor plays games. Watch EA also give us a hero pack to speed up the power curve, which I wouldn't mind since I want to use Fabregas. Oh, so you're just saying like they'll give you a hero pack as well in there. I think they would have probably announced that if that was going to be the case, but hey, I mean, you never know at this point. You never know. Slotty Cloppy, only a matter of time before they make us pay coin/points to unlock SBCs. They're kind of already doing that with the half Evo, half SBCs. So, I mean, they're kind of already doing that, honestly. Lucky Tries Trading. How much does it cost EA to develop this quote-unquote game? It costs them a lot of money, actually. It doesn't seem like it would, but it genuinely does. And I think a lot of that comes from paying teams as well to get licenses. That, for sure, is probably a lot of the cost. But no matter what with these AAA games, the game sales alone do not cover the cost to make it. That goes with literally any AAA game with microtransactions, so just be aware of that whenever you buy any of these games, that actually the game sale itself, that's why it's going to $70, guys. That's why I went to 70, and some games are going to $80 because the game sales don't cover it. Like, they have to make money in the microtransactions, the DLCs, to actually make a profit on these games. And it's the same way with EA, and they've been doing that because they have a fucking gambling addiction machine. But Tariq Alfara, Tots, and even Shapeshifter's promo is bad so far. Yes, there's some menu grind, but it feels useless as we're getting the same cards over and over again. For the pre-order, EA, no thanks. Maybe with a sale, I'll think of buying it. And yeah, been very perplexing as to why Tots was as bad as it was. That's more perplexing to me than the Shapeshifter stuff. Tots being as bad as it was to me was... honestly, how was it not a strategy? Like, that was the worst Tots promo, and it's not even close. I don't even think it's possible to even debate it. Okay, we're back from our break because, well, I mean, you didn't see any of it, but we had a tornado warning, so I had I had to take cover for the last hour. But I think we're all good now. Mr. Hamdoon, he says, first, it's appealing to the newcomers. I think what he's saying here is that those Evos are appealing to the newcomers. They don't have coins and will simply use points. Yeah, simple as that. And he says, finally, it is EA. What did people expect? I mean, it's a fair point. I suppose you can't really expect anything. It's less so a surprise when EA do certain things, and it's more so like, really, we're still doing this. And E-Rock makes a nice point. There's a simple way to show EA that we don't want Evos to be like this. Don't do them. But based upon the number of checks and Butras I played this weekend, I think we're screwed. So yeah, you might be right. I didn't see that many checks or Butras, but you said you saw a lot. I saw a lot on Twitter that said they did one of the checker Yashins and then the Butra as well. So yeah, it's different at this point of the year too. People have so many coins now that it's a little bit different than if it were to be in like November, December next FIFA with a 400k Evo. But H-Lou, I apologize. This game is ridiculous. Packed Shapeshifter Dino yesterday, the most expensive card of my 10 years of playing FUT, but it's impossible for me to enjoy the game because the gameplay is just horrible. And that's the unfortunate truth about a lot of the pack pulls you can get right now, is that if the gameplay sucks, then, I mean, what's really the point, really? And I know it's like a pessimistic way of looking at it, I suppose, but also maybe it's just a realistic way of looking at it. Like, if the gameplay is not very good, then we got Ben Nicholson. They said an extra Evo slot from the start this year. There wasn't one. I think that was a leak. I think FUT Sheriff is the one that said there would be 2 Evo slots this year at the start, and then they didn't do that, and then it came in later. So I think the start of next year, it's going to be 2 if you do the pre-order bonus or whatever, and then it'll be 1 again till like the winter time. I think that's my guess there. We've got Eddie Saint. point. Give it a few more years and you will not be able to tell the difference between the mobile version and the console version. And honestly, you're probably right. And it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if it was free to play, right? If they made the console version free to play and made it more like the mobile version with basically just better gameplay. It wouldn't even be that bad, but the problem is, well, for one, the better gameplay part, and for two, the free-to-play part. It doesn't appear it's going to be free-to-play anytime soon, even though, I mean, it really absolutely should be. And then Cosmic Gecko, I was lucky that the Butra Evo came along when I'd actually saved some coins. So maybe, I guess, if you're a person who had a lot of coins but not very much fodder, maybe that helps, I guess. But at the same time, fodder's so cheap right now that if it came out as an SBC, I'd find it hard to believe it wouldn't be, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be cheaper than that. If like 300K, it'd probably be more expensive than that. So maybe, I guess, maybe it's a good thing if you have a lot of coins, I guess, that it's better that way. I'm just trying to think of some ways where the SBC combined with the Evo could be better, I guess. And Cosmic Gecko, once again, on the SBC grind, has anybody gotten anything good from it? I've opened at least 30 of each, can't pull over a 95 rated. He says it feels like they've deliberately given them bad probabilities, and I think that's just the way the pack weight is this year. It could be deliberate bad probabilities, it always could be, but I think what's probably happening here is just the pack weight sucks, and they give you a shit ton of packs this year, and unfortunately, it's not very good. Each pack isn't very good, that is. Iago 2K, Dunga and Bierhoff are a bad joke as new icons, as average players as they can be. Is that true? I must say, I was seeing a lot of Bierhoff hate, not as much Dunga hate, so it was Dunga very average. I gotta say, I don't know myself. We got Type 1, the game's killing my soul, Div Rivals draining, been playing for 5 hours, can only win 3 games. Listen, if this is happening to you, just don't play it. It's just, you're done, okay? You're done. Come back in a couple days, freshen it up a little bit. You don't need the Rivals rewards every week. You don't need the Weekend League rewards every weekend. If you don't want to play it, just take a chill pill, come back when you feel like you miss it. And if you never end up missing it, then you probably don't want to come back. But playing it a little more sparingly has helped me out a ton, like, and my enjoyment of the game. Dock and Run with fodder prices so low, EA can't release an incredible SBC without making it require 50 squads, unless the SBC player also requires a 2K FC point evolution to fully unlock. So this is EA's shitty solution to a problem they created instead of addressing the actual issue. You're exactly right. I do wonder if this is just the issue for this year and we won't see these again, or if this is just the start of something for next year. I worry that it is, and that the fodder prices being this low is the trend we will see in future FIFAs. If I had to make my best guess, I think that probably is the case, unfortunately, but we have no way of knowing that. We got Lucky Waster. Shooting inside the box is so dumb nowadays. Low driven obviously is OP, but it feels like every other shot type is now nerfed. In fact, hitting your shot straight at the keeper has a greater likelihood of a goal due to the horrible deflections in this game. Shooting should not have such a randomness. I think it feels more random because we now have a low driven shot that's like probably the best shot, right? That and finesse shot. But the thing is that this is the fundamental issue with playstyles. If they make it so that finishing in the box is just good regardless of playstyles, then what's the point of playstyle? So EA can't make that happen. They have to make it so that it's good with low driven plus. They have to make it so finesse shot plus is the best. Like, they can't not do that. Otherwise, there's no point in the playstyles existing at all. So EA has to code the game in a way where it's like, yeah, you try a low driven shot with your, I don't know, team of the season fucking Mbappe. I don't even know if he has low driven or not, but say he doesn't, and it's like kind of shit. So they have to do that, because if they don't do that, then what's the point? So it's the whole playstyle system in general is just bad. We got Neil, who says 19 days to wait for the training camp Evo is ridiculous. Yeah, we've talked about that. It is ridiculous. Munkev, unpopular opinion. I hate the concept of shapeshifters. It is so annoying that my Saka can't play right wing, my Leao can't play left wing, and my Kaká can't play cam. What they could have done is give them their original position and some other crazy ones. Also, an urgent question, which this is 3 days ago, so I apologize. If I apply a cosmetic Evo, e.g. Tots Retro, will that player lose their automatic chemistry? I'm gonna believe so. I think for icons that does not matter, but I think for like the shapeshifters card types or certain other ones, I think that does matter. I'm pretty sure. But I do get this. I get the whole like, yeah, my Kaká can't play cam, but he's like a right wing shapeshifter. Like, that's kind of stupid, right? But I personally don't mind the idea of like kind of giving players weird positions at this time of the year, like a left back Aloeiron. Like, it's just something different for this time of the year in June. But I think this feels worse this year because other promos were so bad that it's like one of the, I mean, shapeshifters has not been that great, but we got exchanges. So just because of that, it's been one of the better promos in the last about 3-4 months. And unfortunately, it happens to be one where like your favorite player might not play in a position that you care about. So kind of unfortunate in that way how that's worked out. A real Ronnie Pickering, so there's going to be a crazy power curve again. I'll pass on FC 26. It does seem like that will probably be the case, considering the icon pack we're all going to get, right? Gator Doc, the biggest problem with what's going on right now is this. They don't want us to grind SBCs. They don't want us to be able to use saved fodder. So because of that, they don't give big SBCs. So our high-rated fodder and storage is worthless. Then they drop exchanges begrudgingly, then kill the pack weight. So we do nothing but recycle fodder that we can't use, and then never pack the usable cards. This has been the biggest thing for me, is they get in their own way constantly, like, and they expect us to not see what they're doing here. Like, they expect us to see now that we have the, like, a better menu grind, that there's no SBCs coming out, or they expect us to not see that. We're like, okay, but where's the SBCs then? If we're gonna have a menu grind now, we should have some SBCs. No, they just sit there and they're like, hey, I know what we'll do. We'll give him menu grinds to make him happy, but then we won't release any SBCs. They'll never notice. It's like they just cannot help themselves but fuck something over. Like, they cannot help it. It cannot be like a fully complete system. We got Marcus, great video as always. Thank you. I'm personally done with the game. He says here that you can see where EA's taken the game with the recent SBCs and follow-up evos. Oh, and yeah, it's unfortunate, right? It's just very unfortunate that they're taking the game this way. Like, it just is. It's more sad to me than it is like anger-inducing at this point of, you know, years of this, right? We're in years now. This wasn't like a quick downfall. This was years in the making. Nick Bockers literally cannot wait till Shapeshifters is over. One of the worst garbage promos every year. There's definitely like a loud minority of people that hate Shapeshifters. I can see why you'd hate it. Like, I definitely can. Like I said, for me, because it's in June and stuff, I don't really care that much, but I can see why. If you love Mario Gomez and Mario Gomez comes out and he's a center back, you're like, what the hell? You know, you're like, what the hell is that? Just for fun, just watch Pogba get a special card. I think he might for this year. You know, Yamal we saw last year. People love Paul Pogba, so me one of them, by the way. Pogba was one of the first players that got me into football in like 2014, 2015. One of the reasons I became a Juventus fan was the diamond midfield of Marquisio, Vidal, Pogba, Pirlo. Obama Hamburger. EA need to make a promo for players who have not got a promo card yet. I like that idea. They have reused a lot of players, but the problem is any card that has not gotten one at this point, I feel like they probably think to themselves, not that hyped up of a player, so fuck it, who cares? Aaron Thornhill, you packed Dino, congratulations. I'm not jealous at all. And we got a long comment here. Who do we got? Piss Fat, who says, hey, greetings from Newcastle, Australia. And basically, in summary here, this comment is saying that I'm not a great player, but I grind the menus like a beast, and this year's been a joke with that, right? Even with exchanges now, I pull a decent card, same 94 rated slop over and over. That's what this game has felt like this year. This game has felt like content slop, right? That might be a bit harsh because there's been some things that I've enjoyed out of it. I think you guys can say the same thing, but really for the last, I mean, probably since Team of the Year. I mean, we had that nice update with the gameplay and some better content was coming out during that point. But I'd say if you want to be really lenient, I'd say at least since the start of Team of the Season, right? I think probably before them, but I think we literally just had slop fed to us. Like, I don't know how you can say it any other way other than just, it's just fucking slop. So that's a really nice way to describe it, honestly. Keep up the good work. Hopefully my punctuation was okay for your reading speed. It was very good. No punctuation is good for my reading speed because I just talk too fast. But thank you for your long comment. I love reading through everybody's. FC25, little official. Not gonna lie, it's sad how bad this game fell off. Like, I miss Prime FIFA. I agree. And people say it fell off because, oh, you just got older, or, you know, it's just the way gaming is. No. If they made a better game, it wouldn't have fallen off. Sometimes, you know, I feel like I overcomplicate things at times, right? But I think that's where we overcomplicate it too much. If the game was better, there would still be a much bigger of an audience than there is now for it. Dine Send, I apologize. EA's begging all players to be stupid enough to fall for their bait one more time with FC26. They're on a slope and can't recover as I see it. And I hope they can't recover, right? I hope so. I'm sure they'll be able to recover and be okay, but as of right now, this does feel like kind of a time where the tides are turning a little bit, and people are just not spending money on this game anymore. Like, the microtransactions just are not to the same level anymore, unless you're basing, of course, and you personally feed an EA employee's salary every year, but there's not that many out there anymore. WXTR, I think we talked about this in the video that day. Super sub items, I don't know what happened to them. Austin 10, look. Just look. Paid evos need to be tied into free ones, a balance of 50-50. 50-50. It's not just that. Paid Evos, okay, they need to be good, but they're just good. That's the problem. Good or mid, just so disappointing. So you're saying there's two problems here. It needs to be a balance between paid and free, and the paid ones need to be good, and right now they're just good, and they're not more than good. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And the more we think about it, the more it's like, damn, have they gotten the balance right of anything this year so far? Like, not to be going down a rabbit hole of negativity, even though we've been talking for an hour and it's been negative the entire time. not to add more negativity to it, but have they gotten the balance right at all of anything this year? I mean, good lord. Yugis is still feeling the high from the Thunder win. Congratulations, asshole. Now the only guarantee for a decent player for these promos is SB reward picks. Outside that, I'm not sure I'll pack anything worthwhile. And yeah, good luck packing those top tier cards because pack weight is not very good. Doc and Rum are getting more FC26 leaks and 25 content. That is also correct. They're on a media tour right now, on a wild press tour. We've got Orlandinho. What's the point of a repeatable grind if one, you don't pack any of the high tier cards, and two, there's not a single player SPC that you like? You're right. That's what we talked about already again. I mean, that's the thing is like EA sit there to themselves like, hey, well, guess what we'll do? They'll never notice. They'll be so happy we dropped the menu grind. They'll have no idea that they can't do anything with it. They take you for a fucking idiot. Fortnite duos videos, we answered this question, I think, in the video yesterday or 2 days ago, I want to say. It was basically because they didn't know which one it was going to be. It was one of those two. And an Enzo here, I think this is the last comment. This game tired me out with all the microtransactions, but really what made me quit was the unfair gameplay. And he says he'll be back when a real skill gap is introduced, which will probably never happen. I'll see you in NASCAR 25 and GTA 6, bud. So you're a NASCAR fan, is that right? Yeah, I even underestimated myself how much people want the gameplay to be good and need it to be good for people to keep playing. I know it's probably dumb of me to underestimate that, but you saw the numbers and what they looked like when the gameplay got better, and it was massive. So that is like the biggest thing I think they got to work on. And apparently this year is the most different FIFA ever. If you guys buy it, you guys buy that one, I don't know. I can't say I will ever believe anything that they say, but we'll just have to wait and see. But thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate you all so much. Love y'all. Peace.